Here with head coach Joe Niehaus for the East Jackson Trojans. Coach, entering your third season, 3 wins last year, and while I know you're not happy with 3 wins, you got to say that's the most wins you've had in over a decade. So great progress with this program. Talk about the success of last year and how that started your offseason workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 and 6, like you said, to the outside looking in, that might not be much. But for our kids and for our community, that was huge. And I thought our 3 and 6 could have been 6 and 3. You take a couple games and eliminate 4 minutes of mistakes here and there. And we're a 6 and 3 playoff team last year. We really turned the corner, and what that did is I usually give our kids 2 weeks off after the season ends to regain themselves. Go be kids. And Weaver, Tingley, and our senior leaders this year were in the weight room 6 a.m. the next Monday. They were ready to go.
Yeah, you talk about the way they worked in the off-season. I also love your off-season champions program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that program and how it's really helped build character within your team?
Yeah, absolutely. That's you go to all these coaching clinics in the off-season, culture and the way they do everything, and that's something we've built from the ground up. Our first year we had 4 or 5 champions. Last year we had 11, and I'm still calculating points, but we're going to get in the 20s this off-season, I believe. It's something we're tracking: daily attendance, daily grades. Their weight room performances and how often they're getting there. And then also, are you playing other sports? Are you helping this school in other areas other than just being a football player?
Love it. Let's go out to the football field. The offense brings back about 5 returners from last season. Some returners in key positions. I think you're going to lose a bit on the offensive line. Talk about your expectations and where your team really needs to grow offensively this year.
Yeah, I think we were 1 year away with our offensive line and our skill players really matching up to be a really scary football team. But we bring back a guy who's going to be a 3-year starter for us up front, and he, I don't even know what position he's going to play yet, to be honest with you. He could be our left tackle, he could be our center, he could be a strong side guard where we move him every play. He's a mean, nasty kid on the football field, and then he's a lover off the football field. But when you line up a defensive lineman across from him, you tell him to move him to a spot, he does it. We get 4 guys around him who can, push some bodies. I think our skill guys are really good. We have 2 really good running backs, a quarterback who's 3.5-year starter, has all the school records already with a full year left to go, and a good young receiving core as well.
So let's flip the field, go over the defensive side. Those athletes, a lot of them will play 2 ways, so you're going to have a lot of skill athletes and some size on the defensive line. Talk about your defense, what you're expecting from them this season.
We're going to have a lot of team speed on defense. We're going to attack. I think the biggest issue with our defense the last couple of years is we've played really solid defense 80 to 90% of the time, and then we start giving up some big plays. I think with our speed, that will definitely help. Continue to teach the rallying and tackling, but we're gonna line up in different front than teams have seen from us, and we're gonna attack and we're gonna pressure and we're gonna use our speed to our advantage.
Cascades Conference is going to look different this year. Talk about the growth of the conference. 4 new teams coming in, new crossover format. What's the excitement level, and kind of how does that change your approach to the season?
You're definitely excited. I think it's really good for our conference. Ensures we're going to stick around. I think the Cascades Conference is Jackson. So I'm glad we were able to get some other blue blood football and basketball, baseball programs out into it. For each sport, it'll be a little different, but for football, it doesn't change much. We're still playing a lot of the same teams. You don't get to play some of the teams you're used to playing every year, but there's that Week 9 thing that's looming. You don't know who you're going to get on that other side. We're still playing Addison. We get to go play Homer in one of our first crossover contests, as you say. But other than that, we're still playing all the teams, the Manchesters, the Grass Lakes Centers, Napoleons of the world. So our approach isn't going to change much. You can line up anybody in front of us, and we're gonna sit down as a staff and watch the film on the weekend, and we're going to put a game plan together on Monday and give the kids 3-4 days to prepare, and we're going to go play on a Friday night.
Head coach Joe Niehaus for the East Jackson Trojans, looking to continue to build on program history and success at East Jackson. They're going to start the year with Lutheran Westland, and they're going to get right into Cascades Conference play. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.